Robert Webb, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
No problem. So I'm sure you've been listening. Give us your thoughts on what you've been hearing from us.
First and foremost, thank you for this forum. It's a well-needed dialogue. I'm a product of the first riots, the Rodney King riots. And from my eyes, and I participated in the last riots, the Rodney King riots. And what I've witnessed, it's frustration. When people fail to realize that people in the Black community, especially in the hood where I've born and raised and been all my life, suffer from post-traumatic syndrome, okay? A lot of things economically against Black people, and I just think it just comes to a boil to where we have to show our frustrations. It's our God-given right to be frustrated, but the problem becomes that our frustration is often demonized. Now, white people can be just as frustrated, but it's not looked up the same. We're angry, we're criminalized. I mean, we're demonized. I mean, everything. I've actually been in situations where police just walked up to me and say, you know what, you fit the description of somebody that robbed a liquor store. Okay. So with that in mind, I totally agree, or I totally sympathize with Black people's frustrations. However, violence sometimes cannot be the answer. And I'm not saying that it can't be violent, because I've had died from the LA riots. People, we have to. It's a game of chess now. It's not checkers, because I think white people have figured us out in certain ways. March, pray, repeat. We have our so-called Black leaders, which I don't particularly call them Black leaders. Your Jesse Jacksons and your Al Sharptons that'll come down and say, okay, we give us a bone and we won't boycott such and such and such and such. And the burning, that just comes with with the frustration. Because if you look back on our history, we built this country years and years and years ago. So and what solutions that we have, I mean, I really don't know. Just driving down the street is starting to intensify. The younger generation is starting to really uprise. There's they're burning up stuff right now as I speak. And it's just that you got to get at these younger generations. And I mentor a lot of young boys. And in fact, I was speaking to the young man I mentored yesterday. He's 11 years old. And I have to teach him the art of like thinking ahead of your enemies, which, you know, can be police officers. Let's just be frank about that. And it's just unfortunate. And I hope that some type of solution other than us just laying down and taking it, because guess what? This is not the first videotape of the abuse. I mean, the gentleman that got choked out at the liquor store for selling CDs and records, it was videotaped. Right. And I think that got swept under the rug. So I think with this whole situation, it's hitting a little differently because, number one, there's a lot of white people joining in on it. And I'm kind of suspect about that. I really don't know what that's all about. But anything that helps for the cause, that's genuine, it's all good. And it's hitting more of on a globally, a global stand. I mean, you got people in Africa, London, kicking up dust. So, yeah, that's my take on it. And thanks for listening to my opinion.
You were in the riots. You said you participated, and that's 30 years ago now. Do you feel that it helped us go forward, or do you feel like it just helped us get some of the frustrations out? How do you feel? How effective do you think they were? Hello.
Robert, are you there?
I think he's having fun.
Yes, I'm sorry. I got recently cut off. Could you repeat yourself, please?
I just said you participated in the riots 30 years ago.
Yes.
And
yes.
How effective do you think they were as far as, inspiring change? Do you think it changed anything, or was it just a method, a way for us to get stuff off our chest?
For me, I mean, during that time, I was looking at it through a totally different eyeball. I was a rebellious young man. Our theme song that year was "Fuck the Police" and "Public Enemies Fight the Power." So we were venting off of that thing. And I mean, looking back on it, my reasons for rioting was, I thought at the time that I was doing something towards the cause, but looking back, I mean, it didn't really change anything.